In the dim glow of courtroom 512 at the Chicago Circuit Court, the air hung heavy with the scent of polished wood and faded hopes, the unmistakable aroma of lives unraveling. For Derek Harlan, though, it smelled like triumph. He lounged at the plaintiff's table in his $4,000 Tom Ford suit, chuckling softly with his attorney, Victor Kane, a ruthless divorce specialist from Kane and Associates, dubbed the Windy City Wrecker for his habit of leaving opponents financially devastated. Derek adjusted his Rolex, worth more than most Midwestern families' annual salary, and glanced at his watch. "She's not coming," he whispered to Victor, a smug grin spreading across his face. "Froze her accounts last week. No cash, no lawyer. This is done." Victor nodded, his eyes sharp as he reviewed notes. "Smart move. With the prenup in place, she's walking away with crumbs. Judge Patel hates delays, she'll default her, and will be out by noon. I have reservations at Alinea." Across the aisle sat Elena, Derek's wife of 8 years. She looked diminished in her plain navy dress from a discount rack, hands folded tightly on the worn table, no files or aids in sight. Her eyes were fixed on the judge's bench, but Derek could see the tremor in her fingers. He'd made sure of that, canceled cards, locked joint accounts, even spread rumors in their social circle that she was unstable. "Pathetic," Derek muttered loud enough for the sparse audience, a few law interns and curious retirees, to hear. "Like a lamb to slaughter." Victor shot him a warning glance. "Decorum, Derek." "But yeah, she's toast." The bailiff, a stout woman named Officer Reyes, boomed, "All rise." The Honorable Judge Priya Patel presiding. The room stood as Judge Patel entered, her robes flowing with authority. A sharp-minded Indian American in her 40s, she was known for efficient rulings in family court. She sat, scanned the file, and began. Case 25-DV-0847, Harlan v. Harlan. Preliminary Asset Division and Support Hearing. "Mr. Kane, plaintiff ready?" Victor rose smoothly. "Yes, Your Honor." Judge Patel turned to Elena. "Ms. Harlan, no counsel noted. Is representation forthcoming?" Elena stood, voice soft but steady. "Yes, Your Honor. There was traffic. She'll be here soon." Derek burst into a theatrical laugh, covering his mouth. "Traffic? Or couldn't afford the Uber? I cut the cards, remember?" "Mr. Harlan." Judge Patel snapped, gavel hovering. "One more, and you're in contempt." Victor intervened. "Apologies, Your Honor. Frustration from delays." Elena sat, eyes on the doors. Derek leaned forward. "Give it up, Elena. I offered $40,000 and the old Prius. You refused. Now you'll get zip. Who's helping you? Your imaginary friends from yoga class?" The interns whispered. Judge Patel sighed. "Ms. Harlan, we can't wait forever. Proceed pro se, or we move to default." "I'm expecting someone," Elena insisted. "Just a minute more." Stalling, Derek hissed. "She's got no one. Her mom's long gone dead," she said. "Dad was a nobody truck driver. Who'd she call, the ghost of Christmas past?" Victor smirked. "Your Honor, motion for default under Illinois Supreme Court Rule 219. Wasting time." Judge Patel nodded reluctantly. "Valid point. Ms. Harlan, I'm sorry, but..." Victoria turned to Derek, eyes icy. "You thought you could break my girl? Big mistake. Very big." Victoria Lang stood like a fortress at the podium, her presence dwarfing the room. The interns scribbled furiously, sensing viral legal history. Judge Patel granted the motion. "Proceed, Ms. Lang." Victoria opened her briefcase, stacks of documents thudding down. "Start with the prenup, Your Honor." Signed under duress, Mr. Harlan threatened to expose Elena's past therapy if she refused. "Our experts confirm alterations post-signature." Derek slammed the table. Lies. She agreed. Evidence? Judge Patel asked. Victoria slid folders. Exhibit A, Original versus Filed Versions. Void under Illinois Marriage Act Section 502. Victor objected feebly. We need time. Overruled. Elena watched, empowered. She'd called Victoria last night from a payphone, broken. Victoria, the billionaire attorney who'd won Supreme Court cases and billion-dollar mergers, had flown in overnight. No one hurts my blood, she'd said. Victoria called Derek to the stand as hostile. He swaggered up, but sweat beaded. Mr. Harlan, Victoria began, you mocked my daughter for no resources. Yet you hid $15 million in Cayman shells, marital assets. Derek blanched. Business investments. Victoria projected bank statements. Exhibit B, transfers from joint accounts to Harlan Ventures, funding your affair with Mia, the personal trainer. The room buzzed. Elena gasped, confirmation. Victor yelled, relevance? No fault. But fraud isn't, Victoria shot back. Joint funds for mistresses, $300,000 in jewelry, trips. Dissipation. Judge Patel nodded. Answer. Derek stammered. It was gifts for clients. Victoria laughed coldly. Clients? Mia's Instagram says otherwise. Exhibit C, posts from your secret trips. Laughter erupted. Victor buried his head. Hidden net worth, $28 million total, Victoria continued. Motion for 75% to Elena, plus alimony. Refer for fraud prosecution. Your Honor, recess. Victor pleaded. Denied, Judge Patel said. Continue. Derek crumbled under cross, admitting coercion, affairs, lies. Victoria peeled him apart, layer by layer. By end, he was a shell, arrogance gone, just regret. Recess granted briefly. Derek begged Victor to settle, too late. Judge Patel ruled, prenup void. Assets 70/30ths for defendant. Alimony $25,000 monthly. Fraud referral to DA. Derek left broken, empire crumbling, partners fled, IRS audited. Mia dumped him, he ended in a studio, flipping houses for pennies. Elena thrived, settlement funded her art gallery and foundation for women in bad marriages. Reconciled with Victoria, who retired prouder. Years later, Elena spoke at galas, kindness isn't weakness. Family is power. Never let them make you small. The takedown became legend, don't mock the quiet ones, they might have giants in their corner. Derek watched her success on TV, alone, regretting the day he laughed. Marcus sat silent. That broke me. Divorce filed. I offered fair, 50-50 custody, split assets, no fight over inheritance. He seemed on board. But now, this robot? A message? That night, Ethan asleep, I examined it closer. Googled the components, microphone, GPS tracker. A bug. Spying. Why? Heart pounding, I bagged it, hid it. Called my lawyer, Elena Ruiz, next morning. Her office in downtown Chicago smelled like strong coffee and resolve. I showed photos. Rachel, this is big, she said, eyes narrowing. Then, Marcus rejected 50/50ths. Wants full custody. Claims you're unstable, unfit for finances. The room spun. Full custody? For control of Ethan and the trust. Clarity hit, the bug was recon, dirt gathering. Elena, gather proof, gambling texts, statements. I nodded, fury rising. They wanted war? Game on. A week later, it was Dad's birthday bash at Marcus's place in the suburbs. Gloria and Harold flew in, all smiles like innocent grandparents. I dreaded dropping Ethan off, every instinct screaming no. But blocking without cause? That'd paint me unstable. So I prepped. Slipped a kid's smartwatch on him, cute, colorful, with an SOS button linked to my phone. If anything feels off, press this, it calls Mom. He nodded, big eyes serious. Okay, Mom. Marcus arrived for pickup, casual as ever on my porch. Hey, co-parent champ. Swung Ethan up, handed me an address, pick up here, 5 p.m. I eyed him, text when en route. Sure, he grinned. They drove off. Hours dragged, I paced, cleaned, refreshed my phone. At pickup time, I arrived, a strip mall lot, empty. No party signs, no cars. Heart racing, I circled, called Marcus's voicemail. Texts, where are you? Silence. Panic built. Wrong spot? Late? Then my phone buzzed, SOS alert from Ethan's watch. Location, Gloria and Harold's rental in Evanston. Bile rose, I sped there, calling 911 en route. My son's 7, SOS from his watch. Pickup spot empty, X not answering. GPS shows in-law's address. Dispatcher, units en route. Pulled up, cop car already there, lights flashing. Door flew open, Ethan bolted out, crashing into me. Mom. Sobs racked him. I held tight, inhaling his shampoo scent. I'm here, buddy. He pulled back, Nana said you didn't show. Said you left me? Rage boiled. Gloria appeared, prim, misunderstanding, dear. Harold grumbled behind. Cop approached, kid says you didn't come. Ethan nodded, tear-streaked. I didn't explode. Scooped him up, we're going home. Gloria protested faintly, cop's presence shut her down. Marcus? Mia. Drove home, made cocoa, comfort in a mug. Ethan sipped, calming. I didn't leave you, I whispered. Never. He leaned in, trusting again. Later, checked watch app, audio from SOS. Played it, breath held. Muffled at first, then Gloria, see? Mom didn't come. Ethan's whimper, she promised. Gloria, syrupy, moms say things they don't mean. Remember that. Harold, quit crying, big boys don't. More sobs. Gloria, if asked, say mom forgets, gets mad. She's not stable. Dad needs help, we can care for you better. Coaching, twisting, evidence gold. Saved it, sent to Elena. Sad and dark, resolve stealing. They crossed lines, now I'd cross back. Court loomed. Built my case, bug forensics traced to Marcus's purchase history. Police report on misunderstanding. Audio of grooming. Gambling proofs, texts begging for trust money, bank drains. Judge's chambers felt sterile, but truth cut sharp. No dramatics needed, evidence spoke. Elena laid it out, Marcus seeks full custody for financial control. But here's the bug in a child's toy, the abduction stunt, the recorded manipulation. Marcus's side squirmed in denials, but proofs pinned them. Judge ruled, full custody to me. Marcus, supervised visits only. Gloria/Harold, no unsupervised contact. On paper, clean. Reality? Marcus flaked on visits, canceling like fatherhood was optional. In-laws vanished, calls ignored, holidays skipped. Ethan stopped asking, betrayal lingers wordlessly in kids. Financially? Freedom. My job paycheck stayed mine, no leaks. Ethan's $60,000 trust grew untouched, invested wisely for his dreams. Nights, I reflect, almost played fair into their trap. But glancing at Ethan, safe and snoring, I know, I fought right. Sometimes, life hands you a robot that's really a revelation. Mine showed who the real monsters were. And I slayed them, for my boy. Did you like the story? And which city are you listening from? Thank you so much for your sweet support. I'm looking forward to your comments on the story. On the screen, you can see 2 new life stories that I highly recommend. There's so much more on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next life story with love and respect.
It was a carefully chosen substitute, a man of similar build, age, and skin tone, who had passed away quietly in another ward the night before. Dr. Lawal had made the switch in the dead of night. No cameras in that corridor. No witnesses except 3 people, the doctor, Khalifa himself, and Isatu. Khalifa had been moved hours earlier. A private ambulance. No sirens. No records. To a safe house on the outskirts of Lagos, a small villa owned by a trusted old friend who owed Khalifa his entire fortune. There, in a quiet bedroom with closed curtains, Khalifa Sadab opened his eyes again. Alive. Weak, but alive. He looked at the ceiling for a long time. Then he whispered to the empty room. Now, we wait. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, the vultures descended. The very night of the death, Ibrahim called an emergency meeting in the study. Marama sat at Khalifa's old chair, the one no one else was ever allowed to touch. Zainab stood near the door, arms crossed, eyes red. Lawyers arrived within the hour. Bank executives. Board members. All of them with folders, tablets, and sympathetic faces. Ibrahim spoke first. Father's will is clear. Everything goes to the family trust. Mother and I are executors. We move fast before any distant relatives start sniffing around. Marama nodded slowly. We also need to freeze the offshore accounts immediately. For security. One lawyer hesitated. Madam, Mr. Sadab had requested a full audit just weeks ago. If we... Marama's voice cut like glass. That request died with him. Proceed. Zainab finally spoke. Quiet. Almost a whisper. What if father didn't want this? Ibrahim turned sharply. He didn't know what he wanted in the end. He was sick. Confused. Zainab looked at the floor. I saw him the day before. He looked clear. Marama reached out and touched her daughter's hand. It looked like comfort. It felt like a warning. You're grieving, darling. Don't let emotions cloud judgment. Zainab pulled her hand away. Softly. But she pulled it away. That night, Isatu was called to the kitchen by the head cook. Isatu, pack your things. You're no longer needed. Isatu didn't argue. She never did. She went to her tiny room, folded her 3 dresses, put her mother's old rosary in the small wooden box. And then, she did something she had never done before. She went to Khalifa's study. The door was unlocked. The room still smelled of his cologne and old books. She walked to the desk. Opened the bottom drawer, the one she had cleaned hundreds of times. Inside, a small envelope. No name on it. Just one word written in Khalifa's careful handwriting. Isatu. She opened it with shaking fingers. Inside was a letter. And a key. The letter read, Isatu. If you're reading this, it means the plan has begun. I am not dead. But for the next few weeks, the world must believe I am. You are the only one I trust completely. This key opens a safe deposit box at First Trust Bank, Victoria Island branch. Box number 477. Inside are documents. The truth. The real will. Bank records. Everything they tried to hide. Do not open it yet. Wait for my signal. When the time comes, you will know. Until then, survive. And remember, silence is your armor, but truth is your weapon. With gratitude. Khalifa Sadab. Isatu folded the letter, slipped it inside her dress, took the key, and left the mansion the same way she came, quietly, barefoot, invisible. But this time, she carried something dangerous. The truth. 3 days after the funeral, Marama was already redecorating the master bedroom. New curtains. New bed. She told the staff, we must move forward. It's what Khalifa would have wanted. Ibrahim had taken over the company office. New nameplate on the door. Ibrahim K. Sadab, chairman and CEO. He held meetings, signed papers, transferred funds. But small things started to go wrong. A board member asked, "Ibrahim, your father had started an audit. Did he finish it?" Ibrahim smiled smoothly. Father was not well. He cancelled it. The board member nodded, but his eyes lingered a second too long. At the same time, whispers began in the staff quarters. Isatu said something at the funeral. She said he was still alive. She's gone now. They sacked her the same night. Marama heard the whispers. She called the head of security. Find her. Bring her back. Quietly. They searched. Her village in Sagamu. Her old contacts. Nothing. Isatu had vanished. But she hadn't gone far. She was living in a small room in Ajij. One room. Shared bathroom. She worked as a cleaner in a small hotel during the day. At night, she read Khalifa's letter again and again. She waited. 1 week after the funeral, Zainab did something no one expected. She went to the cemetery alone. At midnight, she sat in front of her father's grave. No flowers. No tears. Just silence. Then she spoke. Softly. As if he could hear. Father, if you're really gone, why do I feel like you're watching? She stayed there for 2 hours. Then she left. But she didn't go home. She went to Ajij. Knocked on a certain door. Isatu opened it. Eyes wide. Zainab? Narrator. You're nothing in my life. He said it calm, like ordering coffee. Not like he was throwing away 5 years of marriage. I stared back, no tears, no yelling. Why beg when the door's already half closed? Next morning, divorce papers on the kitchen counter. His signature bold. This feels freeing, he said. I need someone who keeps up. I folded them neatly. No fight. He waited for drama. Got silence. He spilled anyway. It's Riley. New strategist at the firm. Young, driven, lights up every room. Espresso machine hissed louder than his words. If he wanted out, I'd unlock the door. Rewind to when it still felt like home. I thought my quiet was his favorite thing about me. I'm Elena Harper, senior editor at a top Seattle publishing house. I live for perfect sentences, quiet cafes, deep focus, no need for spotlights or applause. Alex? Tech finance star. Always chasing the next level, networking events, center stage energy. Riley matched that perfectly: social, ambitious, Instagram ready. I didn't hate the drift. People evolve. What he never learned: my family isn't basic. Dad's a low-key investor, real estate empire across the Northwest, silent stakes everywhere. He taught me, true power whispers. Never flaunts. I hid the Harper name. Wanted real love, not portfolio love. Maybe he liked feeling bigger. I never corrected him. Marriage faded slow. Late nights, at work. Less sharing. His stuff everywhere, me fading into background. Then the rooftop party, South Lake Union, skyline views, cocktails. I went for him. The first crack appeared quietly. So quietly that almost no one noticed. It was a small article. Buried on page 7 of one of the lesser-known online newspapers. Title: Questions surface over final days of billionaire Khalifa Sadab. The piece was only 400 words. No byline. Just facts. Medical sources close to the family say Khalifa's last checkup showed stable health. A private audit was reportedly ordered weeks before his death, but never completed. Sources claim unusual fund movements occurred in the final 48 hours. No names. No proof. Just enough smoke to make people wonder. 3 hours after publication, the article was shared 47 times. By morning, 12,000 shares. By afternoon, trending under #Sadab questions. Marama saw it first. She was having breakfast on the terrace, fresh croissants, cappuccino, phone in hand. Her face didn't change, but her fingers tightened around the cup until the porcelain creaked. She called Ibrahim immediately. Have you seen it? Ibrahim was in the chairman's office, feet on the desk that used to belong to his father. Yes. It's nothing. Anonymous trash. It's not nothing, Marama said, voice dangerously calm. Someone is talking. Ibrahim laughed, short, sharp. Who? The maid? She's gone. Vanished like smoke. Marama didn't laugh. Find her. And whoever leaked this, Make sure they never write again. At the same time, in a small one-room apartment in Ajij, Isatu and Zanab sat side by side on the thin mattress. Zanab's phone screen glowed with the article. They started, Zanab whispered. Her voice was part fear, part excitement. Isatu nodded slowly. This is the signal. Zanab looked at her. What now? Isatu took a deep breath. Now, we give them the next piece. She reached under the mattress, pulled out a small USB drive. Khalifa had given it to her months earlier, back when he first suspected something. Backup, he had called it. Insurance. On it, scanned copies of forged documents. Emails between Ibrahim and a shady banker. Screenshots of transfers to accounts in Dubai and the Caymans. And one very important thing, the real will. Dated just 3 days before the collapse. In it, Khalifa had quietly removed Ibrahim and Marama as primary beneficiaries. Everything, the company, the properties, the trusts, went into a blind charitable foundation, managed by an independent board. And one named guardian, Isatu Sai. Zanab stared at the screen after Isatu explained. You're supposed to control everything? Isatu shook her head quickly. No, not control. Protect. Until the truth comes out. Zanab's eyes filled with tears. He trusted you more than us. Isatu looked away. He trusted honesty. That's all. That night, another anonymous email went out. This time to 5 major investigative journalists and 2 popular YouTube channels that specialized in corruption exposés. Subject: Sadab, the real will. Attachment: 1 PDF, the new will. Redacted just enough to protect identities, but clear enough to destroy lies. Within 48 hours, the internet exploded. Hashtag Sadab scandal trended #1 in Nigeria. People posted side-by-side comparisons. Old will, leaked by family PR team, versus new will. Comments flooded. This is fraud. The wife and son are thieves. Is the maid the real heir? Face screaming in fear. Where's Isatu Sai? Marama watched the numbers climb from her bedroom. Her hands shook so badly she dropped her wine glass. Red liquid stained the white carpet like blood. She screamed for Ibrahim. He arrived looking pale. For the first time since the funeral, he looked scared. They have the will, he said. How? Marama stood up slowly. Because your father was smarter than both of us. She walked to the window, looked out at the glittering city her husband had built. Then she said the words neither of them wanted to hear. We need to find Khalifa's body. Ibrahim froze. What? If he's really dead, we exhume the body. We do DNA. We prove the death was real. And we bury this nonsense forever. Ibrahim stared at her. You're serious. Deadly. The next morning, Marama called a press conference. Dressed in elegant black. Face composed. Voice trembling just enough to look broken. My family is under attack, she began. False documents. Fake wills. Lies spread by people who want to destroy my husband's legacy. We will exhume Khalifa's body if necessary. We will prove everything. And we will sue those responsible. Cameras flashed. Reporters shouted questions. But in the back row, one quiet woman stood. She wore a simple headscarf. Dark glasses. She didn't ask questions. She just listened. Then she slipped away. It was Isatu. She went straight to a small cyber cafe. Paid in cash. Used a VPN. Uploaded the next file to a popular whistleblower site. This time, the medical switch. A photo of the substitute body being wheeled into the morgue. Timestamped. With Dr. Lawal's signature visible. Caption: He never died. He's watching. The internet lost its mind. Meanwhile, at the safe house, Khalifa sat in a wheelchair by the window. Dr. Lawal had just checked his vitals. Blood pressure high. Heart rate steady. But his eyes, they burned. He watched the news on a small tablet. Saw Marama's press conference. Heard the word exhume. A slow, dangerous smile spread across his face. Good, he whispered. Come dig up your lies. He turned to Dr. Lawal. Call Colonel. Tell him it's time for Phase 3. The lawyer's voice came through the speaker. Are you sure, sir? Once this goes out, There's no going back.